There was a time when there was nothing like getting on your bike and pedaling as fast as you could go. You may have been shaky at first, but soon you mastered it, and there was no bigger thrill in your life. Though you weren't thinking about it at the time, what made this feat possible was your ability to master physics, balance, weight distribution, speed, and gravity. As they say, once you've got it, it's something you never forget. Although driving a Vanpool is different, getting the hang of it is just a matter of understanding the extra length, height, and width involved. Your primary driving vehicle probably isn't as long as a 15-passenger van, and obviously driving a van is different than driving a car. Let's examine some of these differences to see how they relate to your needs when behind the wheel. First, a commuter Vanpool is obviously longer. Your family car is probably similar in size to one of these passenger cars. The Dodge Grand Caravan and the 9-passenger B250 are 15 to 16 feet long. The Dodge 15-passenger Maxi Van is about 19 feet in length. Depending on which size car you currently drive, a VPSI van can be anywhere from 1 to 5 feet longer. Be mindful of this extra length when executing turns, when changing lanes, and even when parking. To execute a turn safely, your front wheels need to be a greater distance from the curb than you're used to. When changing lanes, make sure you allow extra distance in front of other vehicles and be alert to blind spots. And when parking, make it easy on yourself. When possible, park so that you can drive through the space rather than having to back up first. And if you're required to parallel park, use a passenger as a spotter. Practice these maneuvers and you'll quickly get the hang of the differences in length between our vans and an automobile. A second physical difference between our vans and a car is the van's extra height. On one hand, you'll get a great view of the road behind the wheel of one of our vans, but your van's height also obstructs the view for the drivers behind you. You need to provide the extra cushion of safety not only for yourself, but for the motorists behind you, because they can't see traffic events developing ahead like you can. A panic stop by you introduces the possibility of being hit from behind, so it's a good idea to avoid following traffic in front of you too closely. Always keep this height difference in mind, especially when making turns or using parking decks, drive-through windows, and car washes. A third difference a driver needs to be aware of is that a van is much heavier than most automobiles. So how will this affect your driving? Let's say this is a subcompact car, and this is a midsize, and this is one of our vans. Once a heavier object is set in motion, greater force is required to stop it. When driving a van, start applying your brakes sooner than you would in a car in order to come to a smooth, complete stop. When the van is filled with passengers, the additional weight requires even earlier braking. Awareness of the length, height, and weight differences between your automobile and a VPSI van will help ensure a safe commute. In addition to these considerations, safe Vanpool driving depends upon other things as well, like keeping track of what's around the van. We already mentioned that with greater height, you get a bird's eye view of the road, but a safe commute begins before you even enter the van. Prior to leaving a parking space, take a walk around your van to check the clearances on all sides. Next, adjust your mirrors. VPSI full-size vans are equipped with convex side mirrors and rear window lenses to help eliminate blind spots when driving. Finally, think of your passengers as your co-pilots. Ask them for guidance when you're backing up, making a tight turn, or parking. Of course, no discussion about safely operating a Vanpool would be complete without talking about defensive driving. We know you're a safe driver. You are approved to drive a VPSI van based upon your good driving record. But here are some defensive driving tips which specifically pertain to driving our vans. Make sure you and your passengers are wearing seat belts. VPSI requires that seatbelts be worn at all times. In most states, it's also the law. Always obey the posted speed limits. Never drive faster than road and weather conditions safely permit for a larger vehicle. Unexpected occurrences can happen to the best of drivers in any type of vehicle. For example, if your wheels drift onto the shoulder of the road, slow down gradually, letting up on the accelerator while steering the vehicle straight ahead. If you must brake, do so gradually and gently. Hard panic braking or attempting to re-enter the flow of traffic too quickly could result in a dangerous loss of control. Pull back onto the roadway only when traffic conditions permit. Allow yourself a greater margin for error. You never know what the other guy is going to do. Give yourself greater room for stopping, changing lanes, entering traffic, and turning. Be aware of your passengers' safety before they're in the van and after they've left. When you're picking up or dropping off passengers, make sure you pull completely out of the flow of traffic into a clearly visible area. Avoid stopping just beyond the crest of a hill or just around a curve in the road. Defensive driving is an attitude. It is an active awareness of traffic situations at all times. Vanpooling should be a safe, fun experience for you and your passengers. Understanding van safety is simply a matter of understanding the physics involved. As you've seen, driving our vans is different than driving a car. And like each new thing you try, it takes time and practice to get used to it. Getting used to driving your Vanpool means becoming more comfortable with this responsibility. But it doesn't mean growing complacent. With practice and defensive driving habits, safely driving one of these will be like riding one of these.